Here he is. Hopefully we don't have any technical issues. Brent seems to be pretty frozen right now. How's your connection, Brent? What's going on, mate? You're a bit frozen. I might have to kick you off and start again. You seem to be frozen. Oh. We're struggling to get Brent on, guys. The internet up in Queensland isn't the best, apparently. So let's wait and see. Yeah, Brent's just sorting his stuff out. So it's just me for the time being. Hello, guys. I hope you are all well and loving the season of MasterChef so far. It's been great. To be honest, I've probably got a little bit of FOMO, missing out, watching the guys cook some amazing stuff. So that's really cool. Loved watching my boy Justin and my boy Pete cook. They're in Immunity tonight, so hopefully they smash it. Looks like they've got a really cool challenge tonight with the 2-minute noodles. So pretty interested to see what they come up with. But yeah, like, I don't know, if I was in there, I'd probably just cook the 2-minute noodles and hope that would do. What are some things that you guys would make with 2-minute noodles while we wait for Brent to sort his internet out? Anyone with some ideas on what they would make with 2-minute noodles? Anyone? Chicken? Someone said chicken. Still waiting on Brent. A sneaky stir fry with some 2-minute noodles. Ah, Kesh with some truffle and caviar. Very fancy, mate. Cacio e pepe with some 2-minute noodles. I reckon that would work. I cook them for 3 minutes to be reckless. Ooh, yeah. Taking a risk. Yeah, I like that. Crush the noodles and put them with the seasoning to make chicken schnitzel. Really good idea. Really good idea. That's probably something along the lines of what I do. Some crispy chicken, maybe some Asian flavors with the 2-minute noodles. Use those seasoning packets that you get in there. That's something along the lines of what I do. Probably wouldn't do well in that challenge, but anyway, that's all good. Brent Draper is unable to join. I knew this would happen. He'll definitely be jumping on soon. Chocolate crackles. My wife is saying chocolate crackles. That's probably one of my favorite things, actually. I love chocolate crackles. I'm pretty easy to please. Oh, yeah, here we go. Go live with Brent Draper. That's some num Jim. Yeah, love a num Jim. Here we go. Here he is.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. I knew I should have tested you out before we jumped on, but
Yeah,
that's all good.
I had one hand with dinner and the other hand with Alfie, trying to put him down. I'm here.
Yeah, Yeah.
I'm here.
Is Alfie
I'm here.
around?
No, he's in bed now.
Yeah.
He's playing with Cyborg, a couple of trucks, and he's got about 5 books on the go. So probably no sleeping for another 15 minutes.
There you go, mate. There you go. He's a bit of a hooligan, old Alfie, but
Old Alfie.
he's good fun. How's your day anyway, mate? What'd
Yeah,
you get up
good,
to?
man. Today, what did I get up to? Mate, I'm trying to, write back to a lot of the messages and the, unreal support that comments that people have written to me, and sharing their stories. Because they take the time out to share it with me, so I want to take the time out to at least acknowledge it and write back if I can. But mate, it's just flooded in like you would not believe. It's just incredible.
Yeah. It's really I think it's really awesome that people feel connected to us enough that they can message us openly through Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome that we've got that sort of platform that they can connect to us and feel comfortable doing that. So yeah,
100%.
that's really awesome. Like, and there's a lot, and like we all try to get back to you all, and it takes a bit of time because there's a lot coming through, but we encourage it. Like, I think, especially for you and the way you went out, I think you also love that like guys are reaching out and telling you their stories. So I encourage everyone to continue.
Yeah, definitely. Like obviously, I'll get into that a bit more, later on, some of the stories, and but yeah, that's a bit later on, I think.
Yeah, sweet. We've got a little bit of a schedule that we're going to run, and I sent that to you, Brent. But I also have some other questions that I didn't send to you because I thought we'd do a bit of a quick fire, just to break the ice. And I know you're going to give some cracking. There's 5 or 6 there, and some of them may be inside jokes that we'll only get, but I thought we'd start with this. So it's either or. So I'll give you 2 options. First thing that comes to your mind with the answers. You ready to go?
Right. I'm ready. Right. Let's go. Rip in.
First up, Macca's or KFC?
Oh, KFC.
Yeah.
100% KFC. Until I can't eat anymore and I feel sick.
Yeah, like the rest of us.
Yes, 100%.
Did that quite a few times up in the clubhouse. So.
Oh yeah, that was the the boys after a elimination or anything to celebrate. It would always be well over $100 each time of KFC. It's good quality.
That's it. That was after we survived elimination. Every week it was like KFC just went big, spent up. So if KFC's listening, sponsors, your 2 sponsors right here.
A couple of twisters this way, hey?
Yeah, please. All right, next one.
Hit me.
Beer or cocktails?
Beer.
Beers all the way.
I wouldn't.
Love it.
Yeah, beer.
Love it. I know you love your cocktails too, but
but that's at the end of the night there, and that's another story.
Yeah, that's it. All right, this might be a hard one, but surfing or cooking?
Ooh. Look, I'm gonna say surfing. I'm gonna once I'm in that salt water, nothing matters, and that's what centers me and grounds me. So, I mean, cooking's amazing too, but yeah, surfing for sure.
Yeah, 100%. All right, this is a little bit of an inside joke, but shark movie or pterodactyl movie?
Oh, I fell asleep during the pterodactyl movie, so I'll go on shark movie.
All right, and to throw a spanner in the works, can you spell pterodactyl?
Pterodactyl. Done.
For those interested, pterodactyl is spelled P-T-E-R-O. Yeah, there's a P.
See, that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. This is a bit of a cross-state rivalry. AFL or NRL?
NRL, mate. Queenslander. That's it.
And lastly, another little inside joke, but caramel or chocolate sundaes?
Oh, chocolate all the way, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Caramel, you
Good
got
man.
problems with.
Good man. I think there's one guy in particular that loves a caramel sundae.
Yeah, he needs to
Um,
get sorted out.
he needs to get sorted out. Yeah, because chocolate all the way, right?
That's it.
All right, awesome. Well, that was it. I think we'll sort of get into the crux of what we're here to speak about.
Yep, let's do it.
So yeah, I guess like a lot of people sort of want to know what like our personal experiences on MasterChef, what they were
Yep.
like from the get go. You know, what we experienced, what we loved, what we didn't love so much. So I'll let you start and tell us a little bit about how you went.
Yeah, look, it's an experience that I just went straight for like one foot in front of the other the whole way. You know, I didn't know what I was getting into because I probably didn't really watch the show that much before. But like that's the truth, and that's the. But yeah, I just took one step at a time through the whole process because like I'd have to fly down for judges auditions, obviously. And I'll just like remember getting on the plane going, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is so far different to my normal life. Just the Monday to Friday trade in the workshop sort of thing. And then, yeah, just the whole filming, the whole cameras, as humans, I think we just, adapt really well. So, that soon become like, you know yourself within the first week, you don't even know the cameras are there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like I was living like when I was younger again without a wife. Like that's how it felt. And yeah, just a crazy experience. Like definitely 100% changed me as a person, especially towards the end, obviously. But made me that much better of a person, that much stronger. Broke me, but you grow from that. And also taught me that I know not a hell of a lot about cooking.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think I'm the same.
But yeah,
yeah, I
I
think
mean,
go on.
you go.
Yeah, I think mine like similarities definitely. So coming from pretty similar backgrounds, like I was also working in construction, so not on the tools, but I was in the office with my nice shirt on.
Yeah.
But yeah, but worlds apart from cooking, right? Like I think, like you will call it a 9 to 5. You go through work, and it's sort of the same thing every day, and you never think. Like, I never thought, similar to you, like didn't really watch the show that much. Love cooking shows. Didn't really have the time to watch MasterChef, but always loved cooking. But yeah, you go through your workday and you never think you'd take the opportunity to go on something like
Yeah.
MasterChef. And I think for me, last year in particular was a really big one where my priorities in life realigned. And, instead of having the good job that paid well, I wanted to focus on what I love more and my family. So that's why I sort of, took that jump into applying for MasterChef. And then I think from that, like the experience was great. We obviously we met, and then we also connected with Justin and Pete as well. So we formed friendies through that as well. And yeah, I'll let you talk a little bit about friendies because that may have
Friendies.
something to do with you more than me.
Yeah. Friendies is basically so we'd get home from filming, and the days are pretty like fairly long. So we'd get home, and little Alfie would be going down. So we'd FaceTime, and he never wanted to talk to me. It was always he wanted to talk to you boys and see what yous were up to. So he would always go. I'd always answer the phone like this. Hey Alfie, how are you, mate? And he's like, Hey Dad, friendies? Where's your friendies? Friendies. So
Yeah,
that's sort of where it grew from, and we just laughed about it, and yeah, so we just become the little Friendies Rat Pack
the little rat
during the
pack.
MasterChef. Yeah,
That's it. We yeah, it's funny. Like how long you didn't see Alfie for? It would have been like months at a time at some
yeah,
points, but
yeah,
he still wanted to see the boys instead of dad.
yeah, yeah. That's right. That shows how much he
Yeah,
doesn't like me.
yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go. But yeah, I mean, like to add on to that, I think with the other two boys as well, like we're, in talks at the moment about potentially running some YouTube stuff, like some cooking programs. So, watch this space. I think there'll be some pretty exciting stuff coming up. So for anyone interested in the
Once
fellas,
once they
stay
get out of the
tuned.
show,
Yeah, yeah. Once they get out, yeah, they seem to be doing really well. So
they're doing well.
that might take a bit of time, but let's see how they go. I thought, yeah, I'd talk a little bit before we head into you. I'd talk a little bit about, I guess, my departure from the show and how I coped with readjusting to normal life. I guess we'll call it normal life, like when you
Yeah,
come from
yeah,
MasterChef. Um, so, yeah, like for me, on that cook in particular, for those that watched or that didn't watch, like it was a beetroot kebab that I went out on, just playing on my Middle Eastern heritage there.
sick
But
idea, bro. Sick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, didn't pay off, but that was okay. I think the show was getting really tiring, and although I wanted to stay, I also wanted to go home, and it sort of aligned with my wife's birthday, so good time for me
Oh,
to go home. But I
perfect, man.
think I readjusting to normal life was really, really hard. I think the first thing that got me, and I was like a little bit upset about, was I think at the time there was like a Daily Mail article that came out where everyone was out in front of Loon, and you guys were all there, and you looked like you were having an awesome time. And that was the episode after, or 2 episodes after I went out. And you guys all looked like you were having a sick time, and I was at home. I wasn't working, so I was looking at that, and I was going, like, I missed that. I miss being in
Yeah,
that. And
yep.
I I sort of struggled a little bit with that in terms of missing you boys, like the four boys, seeing you three, just like having a good time. Like I struggled with a little bit, and then that added with not working, and yeah, so it really got to me, and it took me like I reckon a good month to sort of readjust and focus on what my priorities were, and then launching Mr. Collective as like the next chapter of my life. But I found it really hard, and I'm sure you'll touch on it as well. Like when you went home, maybe a little bit differently, but yeah, that was a huge one for me. So all good now. Really happy with where I've come and the launch of Mr. Collective, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But yeah, I think why everyone's sort of here and tuned in is they want to hear like your story and your lead up to your departure from the show. So yeah, I'll open the floor to you, and you can have a chat about that.
Yeah. So it's obviously, probably about three. Well, look, it's been about 3 months since I've been out of the show. So things are good now. I did a lot of work. Actually opened up a lot as a person, like a million times. Went and got help, seen a psychologist, doctor, and just been doing all the really good things for the body, the hanging with the family, and just centering myself and grounding myself again. So the train's back on its tracks. But yeah, so look, it was just a weird time for me. It would have probably it all sort of look, it stemmed from things that I just haven't opened up about and talked about, and brushing over. My mum was a bit ill before I went in, and I just sort of brushed straight over it, as being a male, as we do. And quarantine sort of buckled me a bit, especially probably the last 3 days. I was pretty strong going in at the start, had a game plan of learning recipes, working out in there. But it sort of, by the third day, the last 3 days of sort of 12th, the 11th, 12th day, it just sort of, you feel the room starting to get smaller in on you, and your mind starts racing and starting to just overthink things a lot. But then I got out of there and sort of readjusted for a few days, and then I was back down to the judges' auditions, where we, I obviously got through, and so all the feelings and emotions are heightened, and then back into quarantine again, which is just an unfortunate event. Everyone sort of thought we were doing the right thing. I won't get into it too much, but anyway, I sort of struggled really bad then, because I didn't know if I was going to get back on the show, because I was in quarantine again. I was the only one in. I missed episodes, but I got through that, and then went back down there. And then you'll know, you would have seen it, Emil, probably, especially sort of probably the month and a half before you left, my sort of deterioration, and it was slow at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think what we sort of noticed as like the boys is, like we were saying earlier, we always used to hang out every night, like without fail. Pete and my apartment was called the Clubhouse, and we always used to go. The boys would always come up to our apartment. We'd watch a corny like shark movie, order some KFC, and then like you said, at that sort of month and a half point before I left, we noticed that you'd come, but you weren't always all there. Like you would leave a bit earlier and stuff, and we didn't really think much of it. And I'm sure you'll touch on this as well, but this is sort of like the warning signs that as other guys should be looking out for. So I'll let you continue on that.
That's it. This is where it all starts. Like, this is where my story. This is where this happens every day. This is what, like, us as males, this is the stigma. Right then and there, it could have been fixed, and it didn't have to go all the way where it went to, like, me nearly breaking. Well, I broke down on national TV, but further than that. So, like, just the warning signs, and like, I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought I didn't know. Like, I've had people telling me from the outside that I was, had anxiety, and I had been to hospital over the Christmas break. They found a couple of little things, nothing sinister. So that was fine. I stayed overnight, but I think my brain just, like, as I was slowly deteriorating, my brain started to think I was sick, just from my mum being sick. My grandma passed away while I was down there, and me being in hospital. My brain just started to not logically think anymore, and that's when I really started to spiral. And that's when I started to really not hang out with a few boys. I'd go to the room straight after cook, just stay in my room. Barely hung out with years, because I was just like, I couldn't bring myself to go out of the room. And then sort of getting to sleep started to become a real issue with me. And there was nights where I'd have to just FaceTime my wife, and just hear her there, until I slowly drifted off. And then she'd hang up, and I'd wake up at 12 at night, just panicking, just in this panic attack, like, I don't know what's going on. If only I just knew that it was like anxiety, and I knew I could deal with it. I knew I could, work on it. I probably could have been in the comp for a lot longer, but I just didn't know. I didn't know what it was. It deteriorated even more, and it started to get physical symptoms from from it. Like I stressed myself out that much that, you know, I started to get like pains right sort of here, you know, like this pain, and it would just manifest there. And, you know, what you don't do is Google stuff. And I did it because, you know, laying in bed by myself, Googling like mad. And, you know, my brain's come up with that I have liver disease. That's what it's come up with. And no one else could tell me anything. I went to 2 doctors and they're like, Brent, you are suffering from anxiety, under the stress you're putting yourself under. And I would be like, okay, all right. Oh, but like, you know, I drank heaps when I was I partied heaps when I was a kid, you know, like I could. And like, there was one point where the doctor looked at me and said, mate, you've brought up liver disease like 4 times in this meeting. You don't have it. I've gone through your tests. I can, you know, you got anxiety. So I'd be good for like the next sort of day, and then it would just creep back again and just like cripple me. So yeah, I've got Sean, I've got everyone saying to me that it's anxiety, and I'm going to them, you're not in my body. You can't feel what I can feel. I know there's something like bad. And then, you know, obviously I started to think then like, and this is dark thoughts, like, you know, I'm never going to see Alfie again. Like, I'm never going to see him grow up. Like, I need to get out of here. And I'm on a TV show that I think I can't get out of because they're filming, but I need to get home to like see my family and sort myself out. So I was in this real weird place, where my brain couldn't think. Like logically, you would just be able to, you know, if you were thinking straight, you could just go, all right, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. But I was so deep in the weeds that I just didn't know what to do. And, you know, lucky I had Sean, my wife. You know, she guided me through the whole thing. I don't know. She's so strong. I don't know how I was breaking down every night, crying, like just the biggest cries ever, so much pain coming out of it. And she just stayed so strong the whole way through. And I just like, if I didn't have her, I don't know what would have happened. It would have been like crazy. But yeah, you know, so it kept going, and I just kept like, you know, during filming, I was just putting on this face, like brave face, smiling, like just trying to mask it up. And that just goes to show how, like, you know, good you can, how easily it's masked up. And, you know, your workmates, you could just be working with them and not know any different. And so that's the big thing where, you know, we got to really talk to each other. And it's a 2-way street. You've got to be able to ask the question, but the other person's got to be able to give the answer. So yeah, it obviously came. I think everyone's seen the Melbourne cook with the fried chicken. Jock seen me. He knew I was like, you know, struggling bad. He went. He come and talked to me and gave me the hug after everyone's seen the hug on TV. And pretty much there, I was just checked out. There was no fully checked out. Like, wasn't like, just, I'd look at you and I'd just look through you, like look past you. I was just gone skis. And then obviously Loon, I just, you know, I managed to be able to get home. The MasterChef got me home during the couple of episodes there, which was great by them, because I needed to sort myself out. Thought I could really quick. Went to hospital, got sort of, I think I got checked. I didn't do any tests, I don't think. But they checked me and they said, look, you're all good. Your blood tests, you're all good. Everything's fine. And then that night I was like happy. Yes, this is great. I'm going back down to MasterChef. I'm going to give it a crack now. I'm going to go again. I'm going to win this. Got down there. And then just back to where I was. Just hit rock bottom again. Like, it just, I couldn't break it. So, yeah, then that comes that cook where I put my hand up, and you obviously had already gone home by then. But that was it. That was it for me. I couldn't go on anymore. I needed to get home, get to a doctor, get to a psychologist, get to my family. And it took breaking down on national TV, which isn't probably the best thing to do. But, you know, in this big scheme of things, looking back at it now, it's, you know, it's what it's done and what I've, you know, seen from it, from sort of my actions. And look, at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. I never knew this was going to happen. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, I need to get out of here. I need to do whatever. Like, I'll do whatever. Just get me out. So that's how, you know, the hand come up. It just come out of me. Like, probably if I was thinking half logical, I probably wouldn't have put my hand up, because I would have been like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. But, you know, I just did it. And then the minute I just remember this, I don't remember much of the episode, because I was just like, my fight or flight, just like my body was just like, I was just like shaking. But I remember when Jock sat me down and talked to me, and I remember seeing him sort of tear up, and then I lost it for that bit. And then he was like, is this it? And I was like, yeah, this is it. And then I just felt this instant like, oh, okay, everyone knows now. Everyone knows I'm struggling. Everyone knows what's been going on, that I've been trying to hold inside me and hide from everyone. And all of a sudden, that's when I could talk. I talked to the gantry like, without any tears, because I was just like, oh, they all know now, like relief. And I, you know, talk to them, talk to the judges. And I've never felt anything like that, because I never really thought I had anxiety before. Although I didn't really know what anxiety was. I'd never been told. You know, and I've always like meditated and, you know, done good things for the soul, like surfing and catching up with mates, but probably never had the pressure and I never had a slip like that sort of before. You know, it's always just been, oh, I feel a bit off. No, that doesn't sit right with me, but never that severe. But yeah, obviously put my hand up, told everyone the truth, what was happening, how I was struggling, and then went home. And when I went home, that was my worst day. So when I got back home, that was the worst day of all. I got home, obviously, like, I had a bit of relief, but that soon disappeared. And then I was like, oh, got home, seen Alfie, seen Sean, and then I was like, fuck, I'm dying and I'm going to miss out on this. Like, and I just laid on the couch with the beads, the anxiety beads, just flicking them. And I had to wait like 4 hours before I got to see like my personal doctor, the one I know. And I just like there, and I'm just like, and I was like skinny as too. Like, I didn't even look. Sean actually took photos this whole way through this journey, my whole MasterChef journey, all the way through. She just does little things like that. Like when I'm FaceTiming her, she'd just snap little things, you know, all the happy things. And then it sort of started to deteriorate. She thought, I'll keep doing this so I can show you. So I've got all them, and I just like looked totally different. Like the life has gone out of my face. But yeah, it wasn't until I see my doctor, Dr. D, when she sat down next to me, because like I just told her, I said, I'm dying, Dr. D. I got liver disease. I'm dying. And she's just like, because she's obviously, you know, into the mental health sort of thing too. So she just like went through, absolutely sat next to me, just went through everything, and told you like, you just wouldn't with this, like your blood test come back, we had your CT scan, you know, and she just talked me through it and walked me all the way through it. And I remember walking, and then obviously she, you know, gave me, you know, the option to medicate. So I had that, and I walked out with Sean, and I remember like looking at her, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I have liver disease. I don't think I have it. And I just, like, that was the first step. That was me, like, bang, hit the bottom. Okay, all right. Okay, we're not dying.
Yeah.
We've got anxiety. You've got to learn what this is, because you don't know nothing about it. you got to get your your mental health back, in a positive light. So that's where the build started there. The next, she got me on a mental health plan with my doctor, with a psychologist. Went there. Lucky enough, first one got on with her really good. And that's one thing you really want. You want to make sure you connect with them, because you're going to open up to this person. So you need to be able to, really vibe with them. So luckily enough, I got the one I needed first up. And yeah, continually every week see my doctor, then the next day psychologist, doctor, psychologist, and just got better and better and better, and surfed my brains out, cooked, spent like real quality time with Alfie. Like when he's sitting down there playing, I'm just looking at him, like, and just that kind of quality, not like day to day, where we just sort of skim over things. And yeah, that was the build. And then, I've just been constantly doing everything, meditating, everything I can to build my way back. And I'm back as good as I've, ever been. I still wake up some days and have this weird off, that doesn't sit right. But, I'm able to now like go, all right, okay, it's just a thought, it's just, and detach it from me, and then I'm straight back into it. Yeah. It was, I needed to learn, needed to break and learn and open up. And now it's like, talk to anyone about anything. Like, it hasn't made me weak from breaking down and asking for help. Like, I can talk to anyone about anything now. I think that's strong as hell.
Yeah.
And it's going to help. Like, everyone's going to, benefit from this, because my mates, they've got no choice now. They're going to have to talk to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
no,
that's pretty much it.
That's really powerful stuff. I think it's such an important message, and one that like really needs to be out there. As blokes, like, we all too often like push our emotions aside, and it's really easy to do so, because that is, I guess, what you sort of brought up. It's like the stigma around being a bloke. It's like, oh no, you can't express emotions. It's not like we do it intentionally, but it's sort of ingrained in us as guys. But I think a couple of really important things that I took from that was, one, as someone on the side of this, like as a mate, that's, as us, we saw that when you started to become distant, that's a cue, right? So
that's alarm bells.
That's alarm bells. So like back then I wasn't aware of that, but going through all this and you going through all that, and me sort of taking this next step into what I'm doing next, like, I see that as a really massive cue. Like, for anyone out there, look out for your mates. Like, watch any, and it can be slight, like you said, like we're really good at masking stuff. So it can be a slight change, but, look out for that and ask that question. We see it all the time. Are you okay? But like, you got to think about what that is and be genuine in that question. I think that's really important, because if you pull a guy aside one-on-one and you ask them that question, are you okay? If they feel comfortable with you, and hopefully they do. Well,
that's the thing. They've got to be. It's like, it's all good and well to say, "Are you okay?" As everyone, like, when you go, in the morning, you go, "Hey, go on, mate." Yeah. Everyone answers with, "Yeah, good, mate, good yourself, good." Like, what does that mean? It's got to be like, it's got to go both ways. You got to ask the question, but they've got to be able to open up and let you in. So it's not so much just, asking your mate, "Are you okay?" It's also like opening up. Like, you've got to, if someone does ask you, you've got to take that little leap and just, they're asking you because they fucking love you, right?
Yeah.
So they're not, I had a really good thing to say, but I sort of, we kept rolling on, and you know me, you know what I do.
Yeah, just keep rambling rolling. I think, like, what would be really good if, like, if you could, like, I don't know if this is possible, but summarize how you, obviously you've gone to doctors and psychologists and learned a few things along the way. If you could summarize someone going through mental health, what are things that they should be doing? Obviously see a doctor, see a psychologist, but is there anything else that you learned along the way that you could, help other guys with that may be going through similar things?
Yeah, look, like, I think, like, for some reason, mental health sounds like negative, but
Yeah.
like mental health isn't, you're not going through mental health.
Yeah.
Everyone has mental health. It's whether it's good or it's not good.
Yeah.
It's just, um, it just all starts with us as men. No one else is going to break this stigma, like, unless we do it ourselves. And you can have every charity in the world yelling out, "Are you okay today? Is this, ask your mate if you're okay." But unless we're going to do it as individuals and take responsibility of our own and our mates' mental health, then it's never going to work, because there's always going to be a stigma. So it's just, and once you like, I know it's just so hard, but like, once you do it, once you like open up and like, when I ask a mate, a really like personal question or like something, they give me an answer, I get like a little bit of a goosebumps. I'm like, oh, he just let me in. Like, it's really good. And like, us four fellas would talk about absolutely everything and open up big time on everything. And I'd always be like, feel so good after it, because I'm like, I feel light. I feel lighter. I just like, we just don't, we go to the pub with the boys. Great. It's, so good. Hang out and, we say nothing but the footy score or how many chicks you hooked up with, or, how's work? Shit. Yeah, that's it. Like, there's no like, how you feeling this week? Are you, oh, look, I'm struggling this week. I've just had a shit week. The missus and me are fighting. That's the combo we have first, and then we can have the footy score talk and the how many girls you're hooking up with, and that sort of good chat. But that's where it's sort of got to sort of change, I think. And once that starts to change, then I think we're on the we're on the right way now. There's so many.
Yeah.
It's becoming normal now.
Yeah.
It's like it's if I had done this 5 years ago, I reckon I'd been like squashed in the gutter. But I did it now, and I've had nothing but praise and the most amazing comments and the most amazing people reaching out to me. And it like fucking gives me goosebumps. Like, I get goosebumps. Like, every interview I do, I talk about, some of the things people are saying, and it just rocks me. Like, just to know how many people have got stories and how many people are going through the same stuff, but just can't say anything.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I've got all these other people saying, "Hey, Brent, I just told my parents that I'm struggling, like, and it's so good." Or, "Brent, I just looked over to my husband. Haven't seen him cry in 10 years, and he's bawling his eyes out over this episode." Like, there's all them ones. So, like, it's unreal. It is. It's great. We're definitely on the right track, and we just got to keep pushing. You're gonna have the people who go against it, like everything in life, but that's it. Yeah,
I think having that community around you that's sort of supportive. I think, as sort of tough and like MasterChef is, and it's a competition at the end of the day, but I think all of us, really, all 24 of us, bonded like a community. And I think that was also, I know you were talking about before, that moment where you put your hand up and said, like, I'm through, I'm done. I think part of that, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, was because there was something inside of you that felt comfortable enough in that community that we formed. Like, at the end of the day, we were family. We were together 24/7, but you felt comfortable enough in that community to go, you know what, I'm not right. So like, that's the sort of next thing is like that community where you're all like-minded, you know, you all have the similar interests. They don't have to be the same, but similar interests. You're on the same journey is like really important as well. So I think that was, you know, that would have been integral in your decision and your comfort in making that decision as well. So that's really powerful. And I guess that's something that I've been working on building as well through Mr. Collective, like in the background, like trying to form like a government funded program that's a bit of a community where guys can come, similar, like if people are familiar with like a men's shed program, but rather than doing woodwork, you're cooking, and food is that catalyst that brings that community together. Whether, you know, you're a professional cook or you're a rookie at it, that's what I'm trying to build through Mr. Collective. And just that community where guys feel, you know, like there might be a bloke, like my vision is I see a bloke that going through the 9 to 5, doesn't have the closest mates, he's sort of cruising through life on his own, but he comes to Mr. Collective and he cooks, and then as the weeks go on, he's getting closer to other guys and building that connection through that community. And, you know, after a month or 2 months, you see this guy like open up and he comes out of his shell. Like, you know, I never want to preach that I'm a psychologist or anything. Like, I don't have those skills. I'm not educated. But what I want to preach is that it's really important as men to come together, openly come together as well, and be able to communicate, be able to talk. And I guess through Mr., you know, I want to be the gateway where I can go, yeah, this is what I've gone through in my life, and open the door. Because a lot of the times guys feel a little bit uncomfortable to be the first one to go, you know, put their hand up and go, yeah, I'm not all right. I don't feel comfortable telling my story. But if other people like you or like me come out and say, you know, this is what I've gone through, then you've obviously seen the snowball of that, where guys have come out to you and gone, yeah, I feel you, man. Like, I've gone through similar things, and I'm super grateful that you've opened the door for people like us. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm focusing on. And yeah, having people like you that did what you did on national TV is really awesome. So I know a lot of people are super grateful for that.
It's just it's I don't know where it's come from. Well, you know, it's come from like the hard days, you know, where back in the day being hard was how you survived, I think. And it's doesn't need to be here anymore, you know. We can all, like, you can be strong and not have to be, you know, not talk, or you know, like the thing that I just love is little Alfie, watching him, you know, grow up as a, you know, becoming a little boy now, and just seeing him, you know, we're molding him. That's our job as parents, obviously, to mold him as he grows. And, you know, he'll wake up in the morning and he'll come out and he's like, Dad, I feel sad, you know. And awesome. So he's had like a bad dream or something like that, and it's so good because I know he can say that to me, and I'll be like, right, I do, like, yeah, it's fine to be sad. What are you sad for? You know, and we'll talk it out, and next minute he's laughing and he's running off like being a wally. So, but it's I think it's also now, you know, opening up to your mates and, you know, asking, are you okay, and all that. It's also the next young little, you know, whippersnippers coming up and changing the, you know, how we grew up was like, you know, flogging each other up, and you wouldn't cry. If you cried, you're a girl, you know, at school. But it
starts with us, mate. I think like our parents' generation was sort of like the last of the she'll be right generation, I'll call it. Like, and, you know, our generation is the first generation that is aware of the emotional and the mental side of things, and that sometimes she won't be right. You know what I mean? It starts with us, and we've got that obligation to our kids. I don't have any yet, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kids of the future, like to change people's perspective on what a man is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's really
Oh, look,
important.
like, mate, you know, I'm not a girl. Nothing changed with me.
Yeah,
You know, I didn't get
yeah,
weaker. I don't cry every day because of this. You know,
yeah,
it's made me stronger. I think it's so strong being able to talk to people openly. Um,
yeah. I agree.
it's such a great thing now. And look, I never used to be able to do it. No way in the world. I was the problem. I was the stigma.
Yeah,
Um, but obviously, Sean softened me up over the years. Um, you know,
yeah,
and got me to talk. And now this thing that happened to me, that was it. That was the game changer for me. And if I can take a few men with me, and and change a little bit here and there, and we can see a little bit of a change, then that's I'd do it again. I'd go through that again.
yeah, yeah. That's really good, man. Really, really good. I think why don't we open up to some questions as
Yes,
well?
let's
Maybe
do it. So
hear
you
from
got any
other
ones
people
that?
out there. Maybe end on some light-hearted stuff. If anyone
Yeah,
wants to
let's
know some stuff about
anything.
MasterChef,
Yeah, let's lighten the mood up a bit. Let's get some funny questions going.
yeah,
Have you seen
yeah.
any?
There's a
Is there
few
any?
questions that have come in. Um, uh, have you got Sean, or like there's some questions that have come in, but people can start posting them if they want. Um, I've got one here from Ajit, and he says, "Do you plan a future in the food industry?" Yeah, I think for me with Mr. Collective, wanting to create like a bit of a safe place for men to come and cook, and yeah, just build that community through food. That's my focus, and then yeah, some stuff with hopefully some stuff with friendies as well,
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the near future. So, how about you, mate? I've seen you cooking up a storm.
Yeah, like at the moment, I'm trying to figure out my path. So I'm just cooking, making content, and just trying to figure out my next move. I want to go work in the kitchen a bit. I know barely anything about food, you know. I'm just a home cook, so I want to go and sharpen my knife. Get that pun?
Yeah,
And actually, I just want to say something real quick. See all those cupboards?
yeah,
They're all closed cupboards. So Sean, and then I've got one little thing down the side there. So
yeah,
if
yeah.
anyone's wondering what that is, that's all Sean.
I bet you're not surprised, but in our household, it's like the opposite. Amir, Amir, Amir,
Yeah.
Amir, and then Alicia.
I, I believe that. I do.
Yeah.
Oh, would you
Uh,
let Pete tattoo you on YouTube? Mate, Pete is going to draw all over me.
yeah,
Like,
I am super keen for that. Jard Construction. I would love to get Pete to tattoo us. And maybe like we get to pick each other's tats. Like I pick yours, you pick
oh,
mine.
yes, let's do that.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
You
there you
won't be
go.
able, yeah, we'll have to put it somewhere where you can hide it.
Yeah, we'll maybe do a YouTube of that or something. I reckon that'll go off. I've got one
Ooh.
here for you from
Yes,
Lorenzo. When's the last
Lorenzo.
time you shaved? Shaved your beard, I'm
Um,
assuming.
I
Not your
think
other beard.
so. I've done it once since getting together with Sean. So I think we've been together for 10 years now. I did it once, right? So we're going to Fraser Island. So it's just off the coast of southeast Queensland. Absolute paradise, God's country. Get up there and see it. There's a plug for Fraser Island. And I just like, I don't know, I got real excited to trip with the boys, and I just shaved it all off. And as soon as I did it, I'm like, what have I done? I was like a 7-year old. Um, and Sean just come in and looked at me. Lake Mackenzie, yes, it is too. Um, she looked at me and she just went, "What have you fucking done?" And she just hated me for the whole trip. So, yeah, once.
Not impressed,
And
Draper.
yeah, and I won't do it again.
That's for anyone that's seen a photo of Alfie on Brent's Instagram.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I
imagine,
look like.
yeah, that's exactly what Brent
Yeah,
looks like without a beard.
yeah, 100%. Oh, less hair too.
Yeah, less hair. Yeah. We got one here. Who had the best party shirts?
Oh, Pete for
Pete,
sure.
for sure, mate. I
Pete's
think
style is so good.
those like leopard prints and zebra print
Yeah,
shirts that he had from
yeah, so good.
Ron Snake down in Melbourne. Sneaky little plug there. They were
Yeah,
awesome.
he's got some good style, old Pete. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
he's not a bad cook too, actually.
He goes all right. Like, I don't know. I
Oh
don't
man,
know. For me, would I rather eat Pete's carrot steak or Brent's fried chicken? I'm going with
yeah,
Brent's fried chicken
all
every day of the
day,
week. Who
all
wants
day.
who wants to eat? I don't know, Pete. Whenever you see this, mate, I don't want to eat your carrot steak. All right? No,
Uh,
I'm sure it was amazing.
nah, he's a wizard.
Yeah, he's a wizard, and yeah, definitely one to look out for. Like, as the season progresses, I think he'll smash it. So let's just wait and see. Any other questions coming through? Let's have a look. Brent. So this is Pete's Handyman Services in Brisbane.
Oh yeah,
He's asking you if you've figured out what beguiling means yet.
beguiling. No,
I
but
don't
I've
even
used
know
it
what
in
it
a
means.
sentence. Beguiling. I think it's like beguiling. I think it's like nah. Haven't
I'm
figured it
gonna
out.
I'm gonna look it up
I
for
think it's like
people out
beautiful or
there.
something, isn't it? Beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Beguiling.
the old Google machine says charming or enchanting, often in a deceptive way.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, that's
you're a bit
how
of a
I would.
sneak, like,
That's how I'd describe a cake too. Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
That was the second cake I've ever cooked in my life. Just telling you,
Yeah, and
inside
you
goss.
cake of the day?
And I blew it too at the start too. I just chucked. I don't can't remember what I did. I think I chucked egg whites in instead of olive oil. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, that's right. And we were
that
like,
one.
what are you doing, mate?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I remember.
God, that was a long time ago. Feels like
That
such a long time ago.
feels like ages ago, doesn't it? Feels like
Yeah,
ages ago since, like, yeah, I was even on the show. Probably was ages ago.
yeah. Righto, let's couple more
Yeah, I
questions.
think
Let's do it. Let's get some good
a
ones.
couple more questions. We've got a minute 30 left before Instagram boots us off. Any that you can see?
What's that one? Who was the most supportive contestant? I would say Dan for sure.
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah,
Dan
100%.
got a heart of gold, that man. Literally
Yeah.
heart of gold.
Yeah. Loved everyone. Great cook as well. So yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Um,
Did you see the lineup?
yeah, line up for Celebrity MasterChef. Did you see it?
Yeah, I think I quickly had a look at it. I don't know. Don't
You don't
know.
know?
I
Nah.
barely know half of them, to be honest.
Nah. A lot of them are
I
like
don't watch TV.
from Melbourne, I think. So
Yeah,
I
right.
think
That's
I
probably
reckon
why.
that. Good question. Oh, surely Gordon Ramsay's daughter will win.
Oh, that's right. She's in there. Just, you'd hope so.
Should be a weapon. Unless
Yeah, I
she
reckon
goes
she would.
out first week, who knows?
Yeah.
Tilly
Tilly Ramsey's
Ramsey.
on there. There
Yeah,
we go.
that's it. I
Yeah,
reckon
there you go.
she'll win. And
Other
16 seconds. What challenge would you set each other? If you had a challenge to set me, what would it be?
To cook something and not put sumac in it.
Oh, that'd be too hard, mate. I'd struggle. All right.